everybody, it's Michelle and I've got a delicious gift in a jar mix for you guys today. We're going to be making coconut crunch cookie mix, and this makes delicious cookies and it's great to give as a gift at Christmas time. And also today's video is a collab with my new friend Dolores, better known as the Baking Diva. Today I'll be showing you how to assemble the gift in a jar mix, and Dolores will be showing you how to bake the cookies that come from this mix when you receive that as a gift. And I'll put the link to her video as well as her channel in the description below and also at the end of the video. And she has not only delicious recipes, but she is so much fun, and I think you guys are going to love her. So be sure to stop over and check out her channel and subscribe and let her know that Craftie sent you. So to get started on our gift in a jar mix, you're going to need a 1-quart canning jar, and I've got my funnel on top of there to help me get my ingredients down inside. And I'll also have the recipe at the end of the video for you guys on the screen, the way that I always do if you need to pause on that later in the video to get that recipe down. So to get started, the first thing we're going to add is 1/3 cup of white granulated sugar. And always be sure to level out your ingredients and tap it down, just to make sure that everything fits in there nicely. Next, we've got 1/3 cup of chopped pecans. Three-quarters cup of flaked coconut. And then to add some of the crunch for our coconut crunch cookies is 2/3 cup of crushed corn flakes. And I just put those into a sandwich bag so that I could crush those in there, and I'm going to measure right out of there and get 2/3 cup into my jar. And then 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to kind of level that out with a butter knife. And then tap that down. Next is 1/3 cup of oats. You can use the quick cooking or the old-fashioned, whatever you prefer. I'm using the old-fashioned, those are my favorite. And on top of my oats, I'm going to put 3/4 teaspoon each of baking soda and of baking powder. And I just love my new measuring spoons with the 3/4 teaspoon measure. I've never had one with that before. I've always had to measure 1/2 and then another 1/4 on top of that, but I love this set. So that was 3/4 teaspoon of our baking soda. And now 3/4 teaspoon of our baking powder. And 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And last is 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And then just put on our lid. And we're ready to decorate that up for gift giving. And I've cut out a pretty piece of Christmas fabric to go on the top to decorate that with. And I just cut that with my pinking shears. And that zigzag cut from the pinking shears will help keep that from fraying. and I cut it into a 7-inch square. I've got a pretty sheer sparkly red ribbon to tie a bow around when we're finished. And of course I've created a tag with our title on there, Coconut Crunch Cookie Mix, and I just printed this out on the computer with a little bit of clip art down here of a coconut, and I added some holly leaves to make it Christmassy, and I thought that would be really cute. And I just made a little border around it. I added a red paper tag around that, just a little bit bigger to create a border. And I put the instructions on the back so that when we give these as a gift, the recipient will know what they have to do to bake the cookies from that. And I will put these instructions on screen at the end also, but just be sure to include those instructions when you give this as a gift. And I tied that with a red yarn with a little bit of a sparkly thread going through that too. I love sparkle and glitter, and especially at Christmas time. And I just strung that through there, and about 1 inch up I made a little knot like I always do, so that that will stop there instead of going all the way up when we tie around the neck of our jar, and that'll allow it to dangle from there down. So we're just going to put our fabric on, and I'm going to use a rubber band here to help hold that for me until I can get everything in place. And that really comes in handy when you're trying to tie the ribbon and everything. So first I'm going to put on my tag. I'm going to wrap it around and then back around again to the front. And just tie that in a knot. Not too tight because you don't want it to be difficult for the recipient to get into that jar there. And then just tie a bow with our sparkly sheer ribbon. And of course my bows always like to flip around upside down. If I flip them around, I find that they do settle in and lay pretty straight for me. And that's all there is to it. There's your Coconut Crunch Cookie Mix gift in a jar, ready to give. So you all be sure to go over to Dolores' channel, the Baking Diva, and she'll show you what to do with this gift in a jar from here and how to make those delicious coconut crunch cookies. Again, I'll have her links in the description below and at the end of the video. So be sure to go over and check out Dolores' channel and see how these cookies turn out. Be sure to comment below and let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as the Baking Diva. Give me a like over on my Facebook page, and be sure to join our Facebook group. Follow me on Pinterest and Instagram, and don't forget to visit my blog. I'll put the links to all of those in the description below, so be sure and check them out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.